Hold on tight, GH fans. Port Charles is about to erupt with shocking revelations, dangerous confrontations, and twists you won't see coming. The way the writers are weaving these new layers into the story feels both fresh and true to the heart of what has always made Port Charles so addictive. When Harker first stepped into town as one of Cullum's associates, I felt that familiar tingle of excitement I used to get during the big international intrigue arcs back in the 90s. It is clear the show is building something substantial here, and I cannot wait to see how it all unfolds. What strikes me most is how Harker's arrival immediately raises the stakes for Cullum. From everything we have seen, Harker is not just another agent passing through. He is positioned as someone with real authority and a direct line to bigger powers within the WSB. I have been turning this over in my mind, and I truly believe Harker is the mysterious Z that Valentine reached out to. The timing is too perfect, and the quiet intensity Merchant brings to the role makes you sense there is history and purpose behind those measured words. If I am right, this connection explains why Cullum suddenly looks so unsettled. For weeks we have watched Cullum maneuvering carefully, but now there's a visible crack in his confidence. A long-time viewer like me notices these subtle shifts, and this one feels deliberate. Of course, some might argue that Harker is simply there to support Cullum's operations, but I see it differently. The evidence is in the way the scenes are framed. Cullum's usual swagger fades when Harker is around. There is an undercurrent of threat, as if Cullum knows his position is no longer secure. This new pressure is exactly what the story needed. Port Charles has always thrived when personal loyalties clash with professional duties, and Harker embodies that tension beautifully. I find myself wondering whether Harker will prove to be an ally or the catalyst that finally brings Cullum down. My heart tells me we are heading toward the latter, and I am here for every moment of it. Then there is the developing link between Harker and Carly. Oh, this one has me smiling. Carly has always been a force of nature, protecting her family and her place in Port Charles with everything she has. The idea that Harker is forming a new connection with her adds such rich possibilities. Is it professional respect? A budding personal understanding? Or something more layered that could shift alliances in unexpected ways? I love how the show allows these relationships to breathe. In my opinion, Carly's involvement keeps the story grounded. She has survived more threats than most characters, and seeing her navigate this new WSB presence feels right. It reminds me of the old days, when strong women like her stood at the center of every major storm. Harker may be the new player, but Carly's presence ensures the human element never gets lost. One of the most thrilling confirmations recently is that Cullum is indeed preparing to flee. I knew something was coming when his scenes grew more urgent and secretive. The writers have done an excellent job planting those seeds. What surprised me in the best way was Jocelyn stepping up to stop him. Jocelyn has grown so much over the years, and watching her take decisive action felt incredibly satisfying. She is no longer just reacting to events around her, she is actively shaping them. That moment where she confronts the situation carries real weight. It shows how deeply the younger generation is now intertwined with these larger WSB threats. I have always believed General Hospital shines brightest when family members step forward to protect one another, and Jocelyn's role here proves that once again. I keep thinking about how all these pieces connect. Harker's new role is exploding in ways that affect everyone. His recurring presence means we will see him at key turning points, called in precisely when the plot needs that extra layer of danger or clarity. This approach keeps the tension high without overwhelming the daily life of Port Charles, which is a smart balance. As someone who has followed the show through countless regime changes and casting shifts, I appreciate when new characters arrive with this kind of potential. Merchant seems to understand the assignment perfectly. His performance has that quiet authority that makes you lean in, waiting for the next revelation. Of course, with any major new character, questions arise. Will Harker's loyalty remain with the WSB? Or will Port Charles start to change him the way it changes so many others? Could his connection with Carly create complications that even Valentine did not anticipate? And what does this mean for the larger threat that seems to be building around Cullum? I believe the answers will come faster than we expect. The current pace feels urgent, yet thoughtful, giving longtime viewers like me time to savor the unfolding drama while still delivering those satisfying weekly payoffs. Looking back, I remember when the WSB first became a major force on the show. Those storylines brought international danger right into our living rooms, and they always delivered emotional resonance along with the action. Harker's introduction feels like a respectful nod to that legacy, while carving out its own identity. The fact that he is a recurring character rather than a short-term guest makes me optimistic. We will have time to really know him, to watch his relationships develop, and perhaps even witness some surprising vulnerabilities beneath that professional exterior. Jocelyn stopping Cullum's escape attempt is one of those moments that reminds me why I have stayed loyal to General Hospital for decades. It is not just about spies and secret organizations. It is about daughters protecting their mothers, friends becoming unexpected heroes, and longtime residents refusing to let darkness take over their town. Carly must be so proud of the woman Jocelyn has become. I certainly am. These family ties keep the show feeling warm even when the danger escalates. I have to admit, part of the joy in watching at my age is seeing how the show evolves while staying true to its core. The introduction of Harker and the pressure it puts on Cullum is a perfect example. It creates fresh conflict without erasing the history we cherish. I find myself discussing these episodes with friends who have watched just as long as I have, and we all agree the current direction is exciting. There is a sense that bigger revelations are just around the corner, and that anticipation is half the fun. Will Harker ultimately help bring stability, or will he uncover secrets that rock Port Charles even harder? My guess is a bit of both, which is what makes the story so compelling. The writers have a wonderful habit of giving us hope and tension in equal measure. As Harker's role continues to expand, I suspect we will see more intersections with familiar faces. That is when the magic really happens. In the end, these latest developments have reminded me why General Hospital remains appointment television after all these years. The arrival of Harker, the threat to Cullum, the involvement of Carly and Jocelyn, and the larger WSB shadow hanging over everything create a rich tapestry that feels alive and full of possibility. I am grateful for the way the show continues to honor its veteran viewers while welcoming new stories. My advice to fellow fans is simple. Stay tuned. The heat is rising in Port Charles, and I have a feeling the best is yet to come. These characters we love are facing challenges that will test their bonds and their courage, and I cannot think of a better way to spend my viewing hours. From the moment Harker appeared as one of Cullum's associates, I sensed there was far more to him than met the eye. His quiet confidence and the way he carries himself suggest years of experience and hidden authority. Now, with the revelation that he will lead the WSB, it all makes sense. I believe Harker is indeed the mysterious Z that Valentine contacted. The pieces fit too neatly. Cullum's growing unease is unmistakable. Where he once moved with calculated swagger, he now appears cornered, and that visible tension has me glued to every scene. As a longtime viewer, I appreciate how the writers are showing Cullum's vulnerability without diminishing his threat. It creates a delicious power shift that promises explosive confrontations ahead. The WSB itself is clearly undergoing major adjustments. New leadership under Harker means restructuring, fresh priorities, and perhaps a more hands-on approach in Port Charles. This change is already stirring new troubles. The organization that once operated in the shadows now feels closer and more personal. I find this evolution fascinating because it raises the stakes for everyone connected to these international dealings. Carly, with her fierce protective instincts, is forming a notable connection with Harker. Their interactions carry layers of mutual respect mixed with caution. I wonder if this link will become an asset or a complication. In my opinion, Carly's involvement keeps the story emotionally grounded. She has faced countless dangers, and seeing her navigate this new WSB reality feels authentic to her character. It reminds me of the classic eras when strong women stood at the center of every major crisis. One of the most intriguing new obsessions emerging is the intense focus on loyalty and hidden agendas within the WSB ranks. Harker's promotion seems to have triggered a wave of paranoia and strategic maneuvering. Cullum's confirmed plans to flee are now even more desperate. The fact that Jocelyn stepped in to block his escape was a powerful moment that still gives me chills. Jocelyn has matured so beautifully, transforming from a headstrong young woman into someone capable of confronting serious threats. Her actions highlight how these larger WSB conflicts are touching every generation in Port Charles. I truly believe this family-driven resistance is what gives the show its heart, even amid the danger. Harker's new role as director is exploding with possibilities. Will he bring stability to the WSB, or will his leadership uncover secrets that shake Port Charles to its core? I suspect it will be a bit of both, creating the perfect balance of hope and suspense that General Hospital does so well. His recurring presence ensures we will see him at critical moments, stepping in precisely when the story needs that extra edge. This approach keeps the tension simmering without overwhelming the personal stories we love. Of course, questions keep swirling in my mind. How will Valentine react to Harker's elevated position? Could Carly's connection with the new director create unexpected alliances or painful betrayals? And what fresh threats will arise from these WSB adjustments? The current pace feels exciting yet thoughtful. Each episode delivers satisfying clues while building toward bigger revelations. As someone who has followed the show through many regime changes, I see this as a respectful evolution that honors the past while moving forward boldly.